today's matchup, we have the Male Muto versus a Skullcrawler. And in this matchup in particular, the Skullcrawler, even the giant Skullcrawler from Kong Skull Island, is obviously way too small. So this Skullcrawler will be standing at right around 200 feet tall. It'll be standing at around 200 feet tall, which is what the Male Muto stands at around. So since the Male Muto is already at 200 feet, we are going to have this Skullcrawler be right around the same height at 200 feet. As far as what these kaijus have coming into battle, the Male Muto has two front limbs, two front arms that have very sharp ends. You see these used against Godzilla multiple times, being able to stab right through him. The Male Muto has a triangle-shaped mouth with a serrated beak, is able to also bite into Godzilla. And then obviously the Male Muto has the EMP blast, which really has no effect in this battle. The Skullcrawler comes into battle with the sharp claws used against Kong multiple times in that movie, has the long tail, which is utilized multiple times throughout the movie. This tail can be utilized to do a lot of different things and can be very helpful in battle, not only for attack, but just positioning and its movement in battle. The Skullcrawler also has a long tongue that is able to reach out and grab and pull things in, and the Skullcrawler also has many sharp teeth. And as far as what they actually did in the battle, as I mentioned with the Male Muto, obviously you see the Male Muto is able to stab into Godzilla and does a maneuver where he goes in the sky and comes down and stabs him. He's also able to take some bites out of him, but for the most part, the Male Muto doesn't do too much in that movie. It's mainly the coordination between the male and female Muto. As far as the Skullcrawler, we do see many Skullcrawlers in that movie. You do see they are very quick, even the smaller ones, but as far as the bigger one goes, the bigger Skullcrawler is able to take many punches from Kong. He's able to take a rock to the face, a tree to the face, a propeller to the back, the top of the head, and the bottom of his mouth. Absolute major shots with a massive weapon like that, and he just keeps going. He gets a flare right in his eye, and he also gets machine gun fire. So it's pretty evident that this Skullcrawler is very tough and is able to take a lot of damage, as we see in Kong Skull Island. And so if you were to break this down, I feel the Male Muto gets weapons because of the fact that the Male Muto was able to stab through and injure Godzilla as much as he did. And the fact that Male Muto has the EMP blast just shows how much more advanced he is. Even though it doesn't do anything in this battle, it shows how much more advanced he really is. And I feel that being able to bite into Godzilla is more impressive than the Skullcrawler being able to scratch a baby Kong. And I think speed and agility is a tough one. I do have to give the edge to the Skullcrawler just because of how quick the Skullcrawler was in Kong Skull Island, being able to jump around and move very quickly. It is a smaller monster, and the Male Muto is still pretty quick, but I have to give speed and agility to Skullcrawler. Now, flight is a big advantage in the Male Muto's side, that the fact that the Male Muto can fly really gives him a massive advantage in this fight. The Skullcrawler cannot fly, which gives the Male Muto so many options in this fight, being able to fly around, get on any angle he wants, and being able to do that special move we see where he goes up in the sky and stabs. That could be a very important item in this fight, and being able to fly just helps out basically everything. But durability definitely goes to the Skullcrawler. For all the things we said, for the size comparison between Kong and the Skullcrawler and the weapons he was using, durability easily goes to the Skullcrawler, taking all those hits and just to keep going, while the Male Muto only takes one tail swipe from Godzilla and is already done. Godzilla does bite the Male Muto and swing him around once, but then one slam to the building, he is done. And in my opinion, the Skullcrawler at the same size would have survived that hit. I think would have kept going. And the feats is a tough one because in reality, both of these monsters lost to the big Godzilla vs. Kong movies characters. The Male Muto lost to Godzilla, and the Skullcrawler ultimately lost to Kong. It was a smaller Kong, but both of them lost to the arguably two alphas of the Monsterverse. So really, feats, I don't think could go either way. I feel Godzilla is superior to Kong. Even from the leaks we've seen that Kong has a battle axe, I think just based on that alone, and that Godzilla is a more formidable foe, you can obviously argue with me on that all day, but I think ultimately the Male Muto having flight is a big plus, and whilst the Skullcrawler has more durability and has more armor, I ultimately think that the armor factor isn't that big of a difference, and I think the Male Muto using the ability of flight with those sharp ends to his arms and having that bite force, I think the Male Muto will find a way to win this fight, get enough damage off on the Skullcrawler, and eventually, once it's injured enough, come in for the kill. The Skullcrawler will have nowhere to run. The Male Muto will have somewhere to fly to always, can always fly away if it's ever in danger, and can really use that flight ability the stabbing ability, being able to fly up and land really fast, stab into the Skullcrawler, eventually get enough damage off to actually kill the Skullcrawler and win this fight in the end. But make sure you let me know down below who you think will win in this matchup and which matchup I should do next. This was another fan requested matchup, definitely a really good one. Make sure you let me know down below who you think will win, and thanks for watching.